The most powerful friendship in Hollywood just officially self-destructed, and the court receipts show it wasn't a slow fade, but a legal execution. For over a decade, Taylor Swift and Blake Lively were the gold standard for celebrity alliances, sharing 4th of July parties, matching outfits, and the kind of public loyalty that seemed bulletproof. But as we reach the final days of 2025, a bombshell legal subpoena has turned these best friends into potential courtroom adversaries. The expectation was that Taylor would always have Blake's back. The reality is that the Justin Baldoni lawsuit has forced Taylor into a corner where she has to choose between protecting her friend and protecting her own billion-dollar brand under oath. This is the breakdown of the friendship that defined an era and the legal documents that proved it was all built on a fragile foundation of industry favors. To understand how this squad survived everything except a federal subpoena, we have to map out the 3 questions that have the industry in a chokehold. First, what exactly did Taylor Swift witness on the set of It Ends With Us that made her a critical witness for the defense? Second, why did the 2 stars suddenly go into a total radio silence blackout right as the March 2026 trial date was set? And finally, how do the recently unsealed communications between their legal teams prove that this fallout is about much more than just a movie set? We have spent the last week pulling every unsealed document from the Baldoni versus Lively case and tracing the exact moment the likes and comments stopped. What we found is a trail of legal high stakes that makes their old red carpet photos look like a distant memory. This is not just about a movie, it is about the legal survival of 2 of the biggest names in the world. Before we get to the most shocking legal move of the year, we have to look at the hidden involvement of Taylor Swift in the movie that started it all. Most people think Taylor was just there as a supportive friend, providing her music for the soundtrack. But according to a report from Prestige Online on December 21st, 2025, Taylor's involvement went much deeper. She was reportedly present for several key creative meetings where the hostile environment allegedly took place. To understand the gravity of this, you have to look at the receipt from the production log on August 14th, 2024. This log shows Taylor Swift was present on site during a closed-door meeting between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, a meeting that Baldoni's legal team now claims was the site of professional extortion. Internal production logs suggest that Taylor was a fly on the wall during the exact moments Justin Baldoni claims he was being extorted and smeared by the Lively Reynolds camp. Per a legal filing from December 12, 2025, Baldoni's team officially subpoenaed Taylor, arguing that her testimony is the only thing that can prove what really happened in those sessions. This leads us to our first major payout. Taylor isn't just a bystander, she is the only person with enough social capital to sink or save Blake's reputation in court. And according to the filings, she is being called to testify specifically about unauthorized creative rewrites and whether or not she was used to intimidate the director. But the drama reached a fever pitch around the 3-minute mark of this timeline, when the friendship became a liability. In mid-December 2025, eagle-eyed fans noticed a total digital blackout between the 2. No birthday posts, no holiday tags, and a chilling unfollow from key members of Taylor's inner circle. According to a source quoted in Cosmopolitan on December 24, 2025, Taylor is forever furious that she was dragged into this legal mess. This brings us to our secondary hook. The contract of loyalty has been shredded by the perjury penalty. Think about Taylor's position. She has spent years meticulously crafting a reputation of integrity. Being forced to testify in a messy he said, she said lawsuit about sexual harassment and hostile workplaces is her worst nightmare. The filing suggests that Taylor's legal team tried to quash the subpoena, but a judge ruled that her testimony is relevant and non-privileged. This means that in March 2026, the world will likely see Taylor Swift sitting on a witness stand, potentially forced to contradict Blake Lively's version of events. The public was shocked by the silence, but the real twist is that the silence is a legal strategy. Taylor has been advised to cut all ties to avoid the appearance of witness tampering or collusion. We have to look at the expert lens here. According to PR strategist Marcus Thorne, when an A-lister like Taylor Swift gets a subpoena for a friend's mess, the relationship usually ends within 24 hours. Thorne points out that Taylor's brand is built on the eras, and she cannot afford to be in her witness era. The court records from December 15, 2025, show a heated exchange between Taylor's attorneys and Blake's defense team. Taylor's team is reportedly accusing Blake's side of failing to protect Taylor from being named in the suit. This is the payout for our second question. The radio silence isn't just about hurt feelings, it's a total defensive retreat to prevent Taylor's brand from being contaminated by the Baldoni scandal. This brings us to our third major revelation, the Ryan Reynolds factor. While Blake is the lead, Ryan's shadow directing is the heart of Baldoni's defense. According to unsealed emails from late 2025, Justin Baldoni's lawyers have a paper trail of messages where Ryan allegedly used Taylor's name to pressure the director. The email suggests the narrative was, "Taylor likes this version better, so we're going with this." This is a classic Hollywood power play, invoking the name of a more powerful person to win an argument. The expectation was that they were all just one big happy creative family. The reality, per court records from December 15, 2025, Taylor's name was allegedly being used as a weapon to override the director's authority. When Taylor found out her name was being used to bully a production, the fallout was immediate. Sources close to the singer claim she felt used as a pawn in a power struggle she never signed up for. The documents prove that the friendship didn't just end over a movie. It ended because the trust was weaponized for a business advantage. Imagine discovering your best friend's husband was using your name to settle scores on a movie set. That's exactly what the unsealed emails from November 2025 suggest was happening. But wait, there is a fourth layer to this story that involves the financial fallout of the friendship itself. Per a Bloomberg report on December 22, 2025, the lively Swift brand Synergy was estimated to be worth $40 million in annual co-marketing value. They didn't just hang out, they validated each other's brands. When they were seen together, Blake got the Swiftie bump and Taylor got the classic Hollywood association. With the legal war now separating them, that synergy has turned into a deficit. Investors and brand partners are reportedly pulling away from any joint projects. This is a massive financial blow that neither of them expected when they were filming those lighthearted Instagram clips a year ago. We also have to consider the receipt of regret found in the unsealed texts between Blake and her publicist, Leslie Sloan. In one text dated September 2024, Blake reportedly expressed concern that Taylor is going to hate this if it goes to court. The fact that Blake knew the legal escalation would jeopardize Taylor's brand proves that this was a calculated risk that simply backfired. The payout here is that Blake may have valued the creative control of the movie over the long-term safety of her most important friendship. Then there's the issue of the squad hierarchy. Sources close to the inner circle, including names like Gigi Hadid and the Haim sisters, are reportedly walking on eggshells. Per a Page 6 report from December 24, 2025, the group chat has been dead for weeks. This isn't just a rift between two people, it's the total dissolution of the most famous friend group in history. The legal documents from the Baldoni suit have essentially acted as a truth serum for the group, revealing who was actually working for whom. As we move into the final chapters of this drama, we have to look at the PR playbook that was used to manage the fallout before it hit the courts. Documents leaked in late 2025 show a series of emails between various publicists discussing how to pivot the narrative if Taylor was called to testify. The plan was to make it look like Taylor was above the fray, but as the judge's ruling proved, no one is above the law when a subpoena is involved. The expectation was a unified front. The reality is a fractured group of individuals all looking for the nearest exit. Looking back at this entire year of chaos, the takeaway is a sobering one for fans of celebrity culture. The fairy tale of a celebrity squad wasn't a lie, at least not in the beginning, but it became a prison of obligations. The documents prove that the pressure to maintain the image of the perfect friends actually accelerated the decay of their real relationship. By the time they were facing each other across a legal filing in late 2025, they were essentially two corporations who could no longer stand to be in the same room. The final reinforcement of this story is the timeline of the unfollow. While the official legal developments came in late December, the digital ties were cut months earlier. This was a calculated, staged exit from a life that had become a performance. Taylor and Blake may have spent 10 years building a legacy of friendship, but it only took 1 month of court filings to dismantle the myth entirely. The squad era is dead, and it was buried by a federal judge's gavel. As we look at the final summary of this decade-long alliance, the takeaway is a sobering one for fans of celebrity culture. The fairy tale of a celebrity squad wasn't a lie, at least not in the beginning, but it became a prison of obligations. The documents prove that the pressure to maintain the image of the perfect friends actually accelerated the decay of their real relationship. By the time they were facing each other across a legal filing in late 2025, they were essentially two corporations who could no longer stand to be in the same room. The final reinforcement of this story is the timeline of the unfollow. While the official legal developments came in late December, the digital ties were cut months earlier. This was a calculated, staged exit from a life that had become a performance. Taylor and Blake may have spent 10 years building a legacy of friendship, but it only took 1 month of court filings to dismantle the myth entirely. The squad era is dead, and it was buried by a federal judge's gavel. As we look at the final summary of this decade-long alliance, the takeaway is a warning for every A-lister in the game. In the new Hollywood, loyalty stops where a subpoena starts. The filings prove that even the most famous best friends in the world can't survive when their personal loyalty clashes with federal law. Taylor Swift and Blake Lively may have defined an era of celebrity friendship, but they're ending 2025 as a cautionary tale about the cost of mixing business, pleasure, and power. The final reinforcement of this story is the trial of the century looming in 2026. The receipts are already being gathered, and the testimony from the squad is expected to be the most watched event in legal history. This wasn't just a falling out. It was a total systemic collapse of a celebrity power structure. Taylor Swift and Blake Lively will likely never be seen together on a red carpet again, not because of a petty fight, but because they are now legally incompatible. If you thought the Lively-Swift breakup was the only one happening behind closed doors, you haven't seen the rest of the list. There are at least 3 other major squad members who have quietly been served papers to testify against their own friends in the coming months. To see the full witness list and the secret settlement offers that were rejected last week, you have to head over to our Fresh Celebrity playlist. It is the only place where we track the subpoenas, not just the selfies. The industry is currently shifting in a way that makes these power grabs more common than ever. To see how other stars are using the same PR playbook to hide their own behind-the-scenes meltdowns, you need to check out our Fresh Celebrity Tea playlist. It's the only way to understand the bigger game being played by the people who run your favorite franchises. The receipts are all there. You just have to know where to look. The truth is coming out in March, but we have the documents today. Click over and see for yourself.